What's up, everybody? This is Jimmy with Trading Decoded. It is January 31st, 2024. It's the last day of the month. And boy, did I shit the bed. Today I went on tilt. I had a complete fuck it moment, and I'm not proud of the way I traded. If you're here today for a good video on technicals, you're not going to get it. If you're here today on a video of exactly what not to do and why we need to, at all costs, avoid falling victim to our weaknesses, which if you don't know what those are, you need to have a good hard look in the mirror and be brutally honest with yourself and know where your weaknesses are, because I'm here to tell you, if you allow them to show up in your trading day, you will fall victim to them, and it can be a very painful lesson. Today, I lost $2,250. It's the first red day I've had in quite some time. I earned it, and it could have been way, way worse. I'm going to explain to you what I did and where things went off the rails and why I did what I did following the fact. The point of this particular video is to show you what I try and preach to people not to do on a daily basis. This is my way of humiliating myself, being humble, and remembering that no matter how good you are, the demons in the closet can always come out if you let them. I let them. This is like a game of dominoes, guys. Once the first one falls, they all start falling. Today was exactly that for me. I'm going to share with you what I did, why I did it, and all that went wrong along with it. Okay? So without further ado, let's go ahead and launch the chart and see what we had here. Just like any normal day, we had, now mind you, today's FOMC day, so I did expect contracts to be very expensive, as they always are. Volatility is always high. That makes these things cost more. And also, usually volatility climbs throughout the day, which was part of the excuses I made to hold on to a losing trade even longer. Okay, this is going to be an in-depth video about everything I did wrong, everything I try and prevent people from doing on a daily basis. I'm calling myself out for the mistakes I made. Okay, we had our three pre-market levels. We had three targets high. We started with three targets low, four, and we added the fourth one pretty quickly. And yeah, so other than that, the expense of the trades, everything was going to be as a normal day up until 2 o'clock. We would have traded it just like any other day. Now, I had no bias today. None whatsoever. Didn't expect up, didn't expect down. And like normal, we do our call put scenario. Now, what you will see missing on the chart today is a put scenario, okay? And that's because I didn't really know how to draw it. What I did say was what I would expect to do if we were playing puts is pull back, stay below this resistance. If it did, I'd be looking for the move to bring us down to 488.19. Okay? What is going to happen for us to make it down to that line? Well, first we have to hold resistance, which it did, but we'd also have to get through a line of support to get down to our target. Normally, I don't hold through these lines. Now, I didn't take this trade, but I wanted to be very clear about what the put scenario was today. It wasn't a break of this line. It was I'd like to see a pullback so that if we can get in at a pullback and this line ends up holding, we could get out with profit, but I'd prefer to see it go down to this line of support. I didn't take the trade. Some people did. Some people scalped a win here. Okay. Some people also bought calls here, used that as support, and got out at our call line. Well, this is where I got in. I expected, if we were trending up, which at this time we were, that if we broke through this resistance at 488.94, I fully believed that we would make it up to 489.35, just like I play it any other day. Now, that was an expensive trade. Those contracts cost me $1,300 a piece, a $6,500 trade. Normally, they're in the $700 range, so this was a lot more expensive than normal, but I wanted to play it just like any other day. I take the trade. Now, in this trade, our stop loss was a candle close below our entry candle. Okay? It's reasonable. It's a 15-cent stop loss. So here's where you should have gotten out. It was a losing trade. Did I get out there? Nope. And so the dominoes starts. Why didn't I get out there? I didn't want to admit I was wrong. It's simple. I'm not going to sugarcoat this shit, guys. I screwed up today. I didn't want to admit when I was wrong. And then I started making excuses for when I'll get out, why I should hold longer, blah, 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 blah. Oh, volatility's going up. That's why this pullback doesn't hurt as much. Oh, we're getting close to a support line. Let me hold it till that, right? As the loss starts to stack up. And again, it wasn't really painful yet because volatility was increasing throughout the day. And by the time we were down here, I was down about as much as it would normally be up here. So here I am justifying every reason to trade against what I'm looking at. I was open, concise, and very honest with our community through the entire trade. Admitting how stupid what I was doing was, admitting that I'm doing everything I shouldn't be doing, and that I should be out of this trade playing puts because it's so obvious a downtrend that I could make up for what the loss would have been even if I cut it late. But nope. Oh, what happens, guys? The rules, the progression in the stages of holding a bad trade. We talk about it all the time in the channel. We talk about it in detail every day in our trading room. Here I am falling victim to my own weaknesses, right? Everybody wants to know how I maintain a level of discipline that I do, why my win rate is what it is. Guys, you want to know what it is? It's because I'm terrified of my weaknesses. So I don't put myself in the situation to face those weaknesses. Well, one of my weaknesses is I know this about me. I acknowledge it openly. If I skip my original stop loss, it's over for me. It's over. I know this about myself. So I don't fuck around and try and hold through my profit lines or try and hold through my stop losses. It's a very rare thing. And because of that, I usually am very disciplined in my trades. Today, I broke the stop loss rule. In order for us to stop out of our trades, we have to do several things. Number one, we've got to accept the fact that we were wrong. The trade didn't do what I expected it to do. I got in for the right reasons. I didn't get out for the right reasons. So begins the problem. Here comes weakness for Jimmy. Did I manage that weakness properly? Of course I didn't. I'm well aware of the fact that I don't. And that's why I desperately try to avoid falling victim to them. You need to be brutally honest with yourselves. You need to know exactly where you suck as a trader and as a person, because you know as well as I do, if you end up having to face those issues, we're most likely going to lose to them. I know this about myself. I ignored that fact today and I paid for it. So let me tell you all of the things that I did along the way. All the mistakes I made, starting with not stopping out where I should have. Not stopping out at any one of these levels of support being broken. Not getting out when I'm clearly seeing a downtrend. That never got out of a downtrend. It didn't change until all the way down here. And at this point, I've already hit the point of, guys, I'm going to get out at break even or zero. That's the level of progression. Well, I missed my stop loss. I'll get out at the next support. And you don't do it. Contracts aren't pulling back as much as they usually do. Let me hold it a little longer. Now we're getting to a point where I'm like, man, this sucks. But just like this, you go from it's a scrape to it's too much for me to okay and accept this loss. Guys, I don't care how long you've been doing this, how good you are as a trader. These feelings never go away. They never go away. The emotional side of trading is the most difficult part of trading. And if you succumb to those emotions, you feel helpless because you have to rein yourself in and accept all sorts of things you don't want to accept as a person and as a trader in order to stop the pain. We have all gotten to a point in a losing trade that's too painful to accept, so you just don't cut it. You hold on to it. You hope it gets better. That was me today. Now, I can afford to lose 100% of this trade, but still, in order for me to accept that loss, it would take a hit to my pride. It would take a hit to my humiliation, my respect for price action, the acceptance of me being wrong, the fear of looking like an idiot in front of hundreds of people in our community. Guys, I needed a humbling today. I earned the red that I got today. Okay? And I did a lot of stupid things. And coming out here on YouTube to the 1,000+ people that watch my videos, I'm not a big YouTube channel, but it still holds me accountable. This is my way of beating myself up so that I do everything in my power to minimize the number of times I have to make these types of videos. Okay? Nobody in my community is making me feel like I have to do this. This is a me thing. I win enough. I don't lose often. And the reason that I lose most times is because I break rules. And that is the point for these videos. Not how much I lost, not how much I had on the line, not how much I make. It's all about why I'm successful in the market, what allows that to be the case, and when I don't have success in the market, what allows that to be the case. That is the point of everything that I do, both on YouTube and in our trading community. Not to copy my trades, not to gloat about how much money I make per year. It has nothing to do with that. It's instilling good trading habits and avoiding the pitfalls that make trading so difficult. That is the point. Now I'm going to go through all of the progression of pain and how it quickly goes from it's not so bad to it's too bad for me to do anything about, and how trades go to zero. Now, as I said earlier, I'm making every excuse in the book as to why I should just hold on to this trade, knowing full and well that it's because I've gone from, it's not so bad, to, oh, it hurts a lot, to, F it. Let's just see if I could get lucky enough to get out of it. I went through this entire thing, this entire level of progression within our community in real time as I was doing it. Guys, my contracts are worth this much money. This is how much I'm down. Here's my expectations. I don't expect to make money on it. I hope it gets better. Could get worse, but I'm having a fuck it moment. Right? My community members were basically trying to be the voice of reason, and I love them for that. Jimmy, get out, accept the loss, be done. You know, fast forward. We're still trending down. Momentum's picking up to the downside. And I say, you know what? Let me keep my call trade open. Let me jump into some puts. Maybe I could start to minimize my loss. Rule number 2, breaking. Buying the low a day at the bottom of a trend. Do I know it's the bottom? No. Do I believe that in a downtrend, if we break support, we're going to move down to the next support? Yes, I do. That's my trade plan. We break support. I enter puts down here. Did I buy the bottom at the moment? Absolutely did. Did SPY try and humble me again? Absolutely did. My stop loss in this trade was a breach of the futures line right here. If we breach that line, I'm getting out. We breach the line. I get out. Another $750 lost. So I tried to make up for some of the mistake I made much earlier in the day, adding to my mistakes. Okay, costing me even more money, still holding on to my calls. Oh, well, guys, I'm going to hold this to break even or zero. This is what I'm saying to myself the whole time. We break the downtrend. I'm like, oh, look, not excited. Like I had no intentions or any thought process of even getting even, let alone make money. I hoped I would, but didn't expect it. Okay, if you were in our community, you know everything that I'm saying is 100% accurate. I didn't expect it. I've already accepted max loss. So I wasn't in any kind of panic. I was disappointed in myself. I was sad. I was upset because of my performance today for these folks, not for me. I can afford to lose on this trade. I'm not happy about it, but it's not a financial catastrophe for me. Okay? It pulls back down. We make a new low a day. Wonderful. We come back up, higher lows, higher highs, and noticing that we're stuck in this area. But volatility is still going up. So around this time, I think my contracts are worth about $500 a piece. Far cry from the $1,300 I pay. Okay. At this point, I tell everybody, well, hopefully 2 o'clock saves me, right? Jerome Powell's going to come on. He's either going to make it worse or he's going to make it better. Holding. 2 o'clock comes. Wham. Straight down we go, right into a solid level of support. Now I've just accepted the fact that, and still, volatility is still increasing at this point. I think we're 42%, 45% volatility. That's a lot. Okay. Holding. Down at this point to, I don't remember what they were, $300, $285 a contract, something like that. Expecting nothing out of this. Then we start picking up during the Q&A session. Okay, now I had just left to go pick up my kids from school. I had told everybody before I left, guys, we're moving up. I'm not going to be on the mic to say this, but I'm going to start trailing my stop so I don't get back down to here, okay? Logic and reason is starting to take over again. Why? Because the pain is a lot less up here than it is down here. When you're down here in the dumps, you're willing to accept zero at this point. But once you get to a place where you're like, wait a minute, this doesn't hurt so bad. This is way more manageable. This is an easier pill to swallow. A little voice goes off in your head. You start saying, well, let me be less stupid and more responsible. I hit that moment. When did I hit that moment? When I'm looking at my phone on my golf cart while I'm sitting at school, waiting for my kids to get out. I see the white call line. Okay, now if I didn't have that white line there, it would have just been another line on the screen. I would have been saying, hey, this thing could keep going up. Logic and reason slapped me straight in the face. The first thing I noticed that we cleared our pre-market low line, but I'm starting to take notice of all the wicks on top. I can't hear Jerome Powell anymore. Okay, I'm literally watching the chart and the white line shows up on my screen. I said, wait a minute, that's where I bought these calls. If we can get to that line, I'm going to start trailing my stops even tighter. We were holding support here. We push up, we get through. Now, the way I normally do my stops is once we cross a major value, like a whole number, $900, $1,000, $1,100, $1,200, I move my stops up in $100 increments. So when we cross this line, these contracts started to clear over $1,000 a piece. Okay, so I put a stop at $1,000. They moved up a little bit beyond that, got to, I don't even know what they got to at their highest, doesn't matter. It pulled back, stopped me out at $1,000 a trade or a contract. I ended up losing $300 per contract on this trade, thanks to volatility increasing, thanks to this move to the upside. Ended up getting out on the day minus $2,250 from the other trade that I lost on and this trade that I lost on. Okay. Sheer luck that it wasn't a minus $7,000 day. There was no skill involved in this. There was nothing. Okay. It was a nice big red fat day for me. Could have been way more red. But the fact of the matter is that once we're in enough pain, nothing matters. It's just like depression. Nothing matters. You cannot be made to feel good about the trade you're in when you're in this much pain. In fact, it's hopeless feeling. You hold that trade to zero, or you hope that it gets better. When it gets a little bit better, you start to see a little bit clearly again, and you say, well, it's a lot better than it was. I still don't want to take a loss. Maybe it'll keep going. These are all the things you got to fight with when this is happening. But at some point, you've got to be responsible again. Fortunately, that responsible thing hit me in the face, and I minimized the damage that could have been way worse. And had I held that trade longer, well, the rest is history. They basically got down to essentially zero. Okay? So I am very thankful to have gotten out when I did with the scrape that I did. Fortunate that volatility was high enough to make this way less of a loss than it should be on any normal day. And then volatility just started to crush. Not only was the trade going against us, but the volatility was escaping the market. And it compounds the problem, guys. So yeah, I had a horrible day today. I broke every rule. It started the domino effect. I'm taking that loss on the chin. It's my first losing trade or losing day of the year, and longer than that. I mean, it's only a month of the year so far. And I earned it. So this was not a video for things on what to do. This was a video on things for what not to do. I wanted to go through the entire process of the justification for stupidity, which is all I kept doing while I was watching my money leave my account. I said, oh, look, I'll just hold it to this line. Oh, we're so close to the next one. I'll hold it to this one. Guys, this is your way of protecting yourself from stupid. You're trying to justify everything you want to hear to stay in this trade while hoping it turns around and gets better for you. I was that guy today. So roast away, throw your rocks at me, be happy, get views up because I took a shit day. I don't care. I've earned it. I deserve it. For those of you who understand everything that I dealt with today because you're still dealing with it on a relatively regular basis, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you had one of those days. I'm sorry you have to face those days more often than we hope not to. Okay? But I am also here to tell you that those days are always possible if you let them be. Okay? Once you let the first wheel come off that bus, you start spinning in circles and then it turns into a downward spiral. You have to do everything in your power to avoid falling victim to your weakness, because it doesn't go well when they take over. Guys, I'm going to wrap this up. I'm not proud of what I did today. I'm not proud of the fact that I had to make this video. I'm not proud that I lost money. And the only reason I'm making this video is to punish myself and to humiliate myself, because I lose sleep when I do things like this in front of my community. I do. This affects me in negative ways, but it also acts as the reason that I try to avoid doing this again, because I don't like making these videos. So please learn from my mistakes, from somebody who usually doesn't fall victim to them. Understand that they always come up. You just got to manage them so that they don't take over. With that, I hope you all had a better day than I did. I hope you found some value of some sort in this video. If you did, even if you didn't, please like, share, subscribe, dislike. I don't care. Just understand that today, I'm aware that today happens to people on a regular basis, and I'm not impervious to them either. Check out our website at www.trading-decoded.com. And after this video is closed out, I'm going to go to bed tonight. I'm gonna beat myself up more over what I did as far as the way I behaved today in our community, and I'm gonna come back tomorrow, trying to avoid with everything in my being to not do that again anytime soon. So thank you all. Thank you for the community members that stick with me day in and day out. I love you guys to death. And with that, I hope you all have a fantastic day. Till tomorrow, love you guys.